Come on, you guys, let's go. Let's go. 2 back-to-back wins against AC Milan in what was the toughest game in this group. Who would have thought that we'd have lost points against Salzburg and Zagreb? But today we put in a very professional performance that was made easier for us based on Tomori getting himself sent off, which I'll discuss later on in this review. But for me, we had a lot of pressure we had to handle. You know, the AC Milan players were putting a lot of aggression. Of course, the fans were making the atmosphere, you know, a lot more tenser and a lot more dangerous in that sense. And there were yellow cards, like, you know, constantly throughout the entire game. I feel like the entirety of that Milan team picked up cards. The flow of the game wasn't perfect at times. Lots of like tactical fouls being made. Could the referee have done a better job to control the game? I think so in certain regards, but in terms of the big decisions made today, I think he definitely got them right, especially that red card decision in the end when Mount was up against Tomori. So today the team showed a lot of professionalism, which I really liked, and for me, I think massive credit has to go now to Graham Potter. The job this guy is doing is unreal. He's taken over us with little to no time whatsoever. The football he's got us playing already, it feels like he's taken what this squad knows in terms of how to play in the wing-back system, and now he's tweaked things in the system to get the best out of their games. Lots of intelligent tweaks, small things like playing players in their best position. This can make a massive difference. You know, things like having more guys combining in those central areas. You know, I've been saying this time and time again for over 12 months, you guys. You know, when I used to watch us play before, it was too isolated. You know, we would constantly see like this U shape in our pass maps after a game where all the play was congested down the left wing and the right wing, and we didn't see any combination plays between any of our cams and strikers. And if you can't do that, how are you going to find like the opportunities to create like a variety of opportunities against your opponents? That's not going to come. You know, you need these guys to play off each other, to understand each other's games a lot more. And I feel like, you know, these are just a few examples of tweaks that was brought to the club currently. And the instant impact we're seeing for me is very exciting. And I think our season is definitely back up. Wow, in today's review, you guys, I want to talk about the goals. I want to talk about Mason Mount. I want to talk about that red card incident for Tomori as well too, plus a lot more things as well. So I hope you guys are excited. I hope you guys are ready. It feels like we're going into this this month on an up right now, and I feel confident against any team we'll be playing against this month. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's review. Smash the like button and getting straight into things. I guess one of the big talking points in this game today was the red card that Tomori picked up. Now, from my initial inspection, just seeing it in real time, I thought this is a little bit harsh actually. But after like a multitude of replays on the screen, for sure my opinion was absolutely changed. This was a clear red card. I'm happy the referee followed the letter of the law and wasn't put off by the pressure from the fans at San Siro whatsoever. That's what I want to see. And, you know, just seeing that goal, this is all down to the brilliance of Mason Mount. It's his speed of thought. He understands when to time his like runs before his opponents. He's like literally in the minds of his opponents. He knows how to fool them, to deceive them. He's a very intelligent guy. And now that this guy has an upper body now to like really match that aggression he has in his game, once he's in front of that ball, opponents can't win it off him. You know, Tomori should have been in a much better position to cover the spaces and behind, because he is way faster than Mason Mount. And he shouldn't be allowing Mount to be able to skip in against him like that. But that's always been something in Mount's game. It doesn't really matter sometimes about your pace. If your thinking in the game is a lot faster, which is like one of the most key things in my opinion. You know, Mount, credit to him, he could have gone down easier and maybe made the referee's life a lot easier. But this is a Mason Mount now that's a very strong and confident character in this team. Of course, it continues his excellent form over these past 3 games. And I actually think now is probably the best time to discuss the second talking point, of course, and that is none other, obviously, than Mason Mount. One of the most informed players at this point in time, and I feel like he's been one of the few players as well to really take advantage of the new tweaks that Potter has introduced into the team right now. You know, before Mason Mount, I felt like we were seeing like a very limited version of the player, you know, like a inside forward type of role. A lot of times previously, you know, his game was about getting the wing backs into the game. You know, his game was out wide on the left or on the right hand side. A lot of times we weren't seeing him having the opportunities to do the best things in his game, like his switch balls, you know, his way to quicken up the pace, you know, that incredible intelligent movement between the lines as well too. But now playing under Potter, you know, with a manager that wants them to play closer to each other, but Mount can now drop into the channels more to, you know, influence the game from deeper positions instead of just being constantly situated further up. You know, Mount is profiting from this new way of playing even more. There's a reason why I never agreed with much of the really hyper criticism that he'd face all the time, because in my head I'm thinking, listen, your opinion is based on the fact that you're defining Mount based on what you're seeing in front of you in the moment right now. You're not taking into consideration the role he has to play, what he has to do for the team, you know, things that he can't show in his game based on the way he's playing. And with a guy like Mason Mount, I think the fact that he can play so many different roles to a very, very good level is one of the things that is really used against him in that sense, because how often have we get to see him play in his best position constantly? But I feel like this hybrid role he's playing now of, you know, playing as this attacking mid with a lot more freedom and license now to influence the game. You know, we're seeing a Mount now that is fully back in form. Today, you know, he basically got 2 assists. He won that penalty for us, and of course the invention he showed to make that second goal. You know, that's one of the things I liked about the game today, was those combination plays and passes, especially through Milan's midfield. Of course, it was even easier once they went down to 10 men. But for Mason Mount, you know, his speed of thought in the game, great combination play. Kovacic, nice loader and pass, cutting through 2 Milan players. Mount just cushions that pass, uses the momentum of that pass to just steer it in the direction, because he already saw Sterling and AUBAMEYANG, and the pass was that good, of course, that either one of Sterling or Oba could have scored. Oba took his goal spectacularly well, and this is why he was signed, because he is incredibly clinical inside the box. He doesn't need 5 or 6 chances to get a goal. If you produce quality opportunities for him, 9 to 8 times out of 10, AUBAMEYANG is putting that ball in the back of the net. And, you know, I think Mount today just really typifies you know, all the things positive in our game right now. Of course, you have to get subbed off naturally. You know, he picked up a yellow card, and we may as well rest him. We have a lot of games in October, and I think that's another one of the things I'm really liking from Graham Potter, is the fact that his man management currently seems to be A1. And just breaking down this guy's press conference interviews, etc., etc. You know, he really puts a strong emphasis on the human perspective in that sense. I'm saying that so poorly, but you know, he really cares about, you know, these guys' mental well-being, because he knows that if they're on top form, if they're feeling good about themselves, if they're able to play their best football, then your job as a manager is made a lot easier. And I think it is one of those important things. And the fact that he's relying on players throughout the squad, that he's giving opportunities, that he's having open conversations with everyone in the team as well too, is no surprise why a lot of players are actually expressing that they have a lot of respect for him, and he's quite a nice guy to work with in training. So, you know, it's nice that Potter can combine, you know, the tactical work that we want to see. You know, we want to see our manager as Chelsea fans able to tactically dominate his opponents, and he did that twice against Pioli. This is his first time playing in the Champions League, and you know, for me, I just think that he's been a real credit to the club at this point in time. Of course, you know, a bad form will eventually come. It's bound to happen. We're not perfect just yet at this point in time, but in terms of the foundations that have been set and built, and the positives we're seeing week in, week out currently, you know, there's a lot to be excited for under Graham Potter for sure. And yeah, you know, the fact that he's just coming to the Champions League and is instantly just, you know, not only showing that he has the tactics to compete against managers, but, you know, he can get the players, you know, working for him to, of course, you know, play their best football within the system. For me, this is just a super positive. So to end things with the final point, yeah, just give some more thoughts and opinions behind our new way of attacking. Yeah, I'm liking how the midfield and the attack are combining a lot more. I like that these guys were in those boxes in the opponent's half close together, and I like the fact that we're seeing the actual player's ability now being the main focus, because, you know, as I keep saying, these guys, you have to be good enough to be playing at this level to play for our football club. I'm not trying to sound too arrogant or anything like that, but that is just the reality of things. You need to be able to play and show what you can do in games like this. And maybe under our previous way of playing, it did feel like at times that it was a bit too video gamey, in the sense that it was the same passing repetitions time and time again. It's no surprise why eventually that's going to tire the players out, and that's not going to work. So, you know, it feels like now we should be able to see more development of your Mounts, your Havertzes, plus a lot of these under 24 players now, because now they'll have to show what they've learned over the years to be those guys, to be those main match winners for us. And I think this way of playing football, you know, be combining like the defensive solidity as well as like a great you know, a counter pressing system that's not too aggressive compared to someone like Tuchel's. You know, instead it's a bit more mid-blockish in that sense. And, you know, we are going to give away a few more opportunities, but that's okay because we want the game to open up a bit more, because when it opens up, we can take advantage with our transition game. So I'm liking the balances I'm seeing at this point in time. And I guess to end things with this match for you guys, we have to talk about Reece James. Of course, again, second leg, we were all expected to see like a bit of a clash between Leao and James. We weren't able to see that once Tomori got himself sent off, which was a shame, but again, Reece James is, you know, showing his class. It's just too comfortable and easy for him at this level. And with how well things were going for us, it's such a shame that he comes off with an injury. You know, it's just 2 consecutive injuries now to Fofana and now to Reece James. We know that Fofana isn't as serious now. I'm hoping that James is not going to be as serious. The fact that he thought he could maybe play on a bit longer tells him that maybe it's not too bad. So hopefully he'll only be out for like a week, 2 weeks max, if that. But, you know, it's always a bit worrying because for me, he's probably our best player on the field. I don't think any player can replicate that quality on the right hand side if Reece James is missing. So let's hope that he comes back quite soon. And you guys, that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Of course, you know, second half, there was nothing really to play for. You know, we need to conserve our energy. Of course, you want to see us getting more goals. But I think looking back, you know, look at periods like this where it's like, okay, we were very resourceful with our energy in moments where we had to be. And we'll reap the benefits for this in the future. So on that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. I'm in the FC. This is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.